Hi, folks, here with Tacitus today, your pushback channel, and thank you for joining this live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about how the West seems, or the globalist directed and controlled West seems hell-bent on destroying almost the entire business sector, or certainly any semblance of capitalism in the business sector, and any semblance of merit. And I'm now reminded of this pretty much everywhere that I go in any sort of business capacity. So, and what brought it home recently was an organisation that I used to do a lot of business with, and they had some pretty sharp folks there, and but I was stunned to see how much they changed the senior or upper middle senior management, the Asia Pacific, director of sales, and those sorts of roles, the national director and that sort of thing. These roles are all filled by women now. None of whom appear to have the qualifications and expertise. They didn't rise through the ranks having to achieve things and accomplish things. They were placed there because of quotas and ideology and that sort of thing. And they've got that sort of insecure nervousness the irritability that comes from with people who've been over promoted, and they don't want to sort of admit that, gee whiz, I haven't got the expertise to be doing this. Now, what sensible people will do is they'll say, well, I've been promoted. It's a great opportunity. So now I'm going to become expert in my field, and in that way, I'll sort of pay back the confidence or the good luck or whatever it was that got me there. But no, it seems to be the opposite, that they become defensively pugnacious and think that any even the tiniest micro admission that they may not be up to the job is something they're just not prepared to do. Therefore, they don't improve themselves or get better at what they do, or somehow manage to overcome the downside of them being so over promoted. Now, as soon as these people get into roles like this, the over promoted and underqualified, they want to spread that sort of unqualified vibe around the place. So here's the national manager. As soon as she gets the job, which is over the top of many better qualified people, other better qualified women as well, by the way, she starts to get rid of all the straight white males, all the high achievers, and then brings in people. She hires a black homosexual, an Asian homosexual, hires some retarded white guy, and so on. It's like, if someone said, look, your job is to somehow destroy the business as effectively as you can, then assuming that was her mission, then she would have done this. But when you're that unqualified and that insecure about it, you have to surround yourself with unqualified people who are even less qualified. Otherwise, they may take your job or threaten your job or make you feel bad. The worst thing is having a much better qualified direct report, because then that makes you feel bad about how can you assert moral authority to someone who's better than you. So this is part of, so looking at this collection of people, thought, you've got to be fucking kidding. Now, all of the people that were there had been hired on the basis of wokeism and race and gender quotas and all this sort of stuff. And there would have been tens of thousands of better qualified people that easily could have been brought on board. But no, they've gone down the path of the least qualified, or so it seems. But I'm now noticing this pretty much everywhere. Now, not that before these race and gender quota things were coming in, it wasn't the case that everyone you met was a genius or expert in their field. It wasn't like that. Many were, but there were some who weren't. But it was always seemed to be a rule that the less qualified the dudes in charge were, then the less qualified the other people will be down the line. So if you get a C or D grade sort of CEO, then they're going to have F and G and H grade type employees in there. Because they want to maintain their sort of relative status, and to do that is you surround yourself with idiots. That's been happening for all time, that type of thing. But where there's a genuine effort at merit or an attempt at merit, then you tend to get better quality people, not only at the upper echelons, but those better quality people. When I say better quality, you know, they're more experienced, they're better educated, they've got achievements and accomplishments to their credit. They've learned what it's like to make a mistake and fail and suffer the consequences. They also understand what they have to do to be successful and the risks you have to take and the focus you need, the energy, the work you have to be successful. And people who've achieved through those sort of meritorious circumstances and conditions, they have a lot more confidence, a lot more self-assurance, particularly self-assurance, and they then tend to hire well-qualified people around them, or certainly much better qualified than would otherwise be hired. That's all gone now. It just isn't really there. Most of the boards and directors and CEOs are really more socialites and flunkies and stooges of the big financial firms. They're not really qualified, so they in turn gather people around them that are nice to be with, nice guys, and pleasant. And then they've got the gender and race quotas on top of that. So in the end, they've got just the whole structure is effectively dysfunctional because there's no merit in there. But again, I'm seeing this pretty much everywhere, and I'm aghast at it because there's people that you wouldn't employ to work on the refund desk at Walmart or Kmart or something. Those people are now running around as VPs and sales directors and head of marketing and HR departments, that sort of thing. So these people aren't well qualified. Now in the HR department, that's an admin job. They're not directly sort of responsible for, say, bringing business in the door or something like that. But when you've got the same race and gender quota stuff and low quality, low IQ, low achievement people that are also sales directors and major sales account representatives and business development executives, all that sort of thing, you can't really afford to have low quality there. That's somewhere where if you're going to bring business in the door, you need your quality, motivated, high achieving people. But I'm seeing that disappearing as well. So this is all death by 1,000 cuts, and it seems that every year that goes by, the people that certainly I'm having to do business with seem to be lower quality than the ones I met the year before that, to the point where some of these people just have no clue of their job. They don't even understand what it is. They've got their little checklist to tick off, and they go through that every day, and they've got no idea what it is they're really doing and how their role fits in the bigger picture and so on. So I see this as death by 1,000 cuts. And as we head more and more towards a crony economy, where these organisations are just saying to the government, well, we'll employ all these black lesbians that you want us to, but you got to give us cosy contracts. You got to let us use monopoly pricing or cartel pricing to offset, because now we're so bloated with useless people, we can't compete on any within goods and services in the marketplace. So we just need protection against competition, so that we don't have to compete, so we can still make money like we used to in the days when we knew what we were doing. And this is my mind, death by 1,000 cuts for the Western economies. And why, if this trend continues, the West will be, within 50 to 70 years, will be the poor man of the globe, the sick man of the world. You've been with Tacitus today, your Pushback channel. Thank you for listening.